So the verse number 148, Surah An-Nisa, the woman, and the verse number 148 said, La yuhibbullahu al-jahra bis-su'i, that Allah doesn't like to make noise with bad words. Min al-qawli, in your language. Illa man zalim, except for those who are abused. Wa kana Allahu samian alima, and surely Allah is hearing, knowledgeable. So now here is very important things. Allah hates people who are making noisy, who are shouting with some evil words. Allah said Allah don't like those people who are making noisy, shouting with their language, with some bad words, with some evil words. Then Allah make one exception. Illa man zalim, except those who are being abused. Allah is giving the people who are being abused that they can make noise. Like people who are being oppressed, the people who are being abused in different way, physically, with politically, or with corruption. They were being robbed by the people, the politicians, or they were being killed by the armies, or whatever other way of oppression, the abuse, injustice. There is a gangster who is being trouble to them, and they are now raising their voice for justice, or to even some is speaking some evil like word against those people who are abusing them. Then Allah is giving an exception. It doesn't mean that He is allowing to make noise and to say some evil words. No, for only that time when they are being abused. Like example, when people of Palestine were abused by the Israel, they were right to make noise and to say some words, some wrong words against them, because they were being abused and they were being murdered and tortured. But most of the time, the people in Palestine, they were not saying any evil word. They were just making patient. Rather, they were saying to the Muslim world and to the whole world that, where are you? What you doing? We are watching that we are being slaughtered and tortured. It's a very beautiful verse here. Like example, sometimes people have some, in any country in the world, they're being abused. And then what they do, they go publicly, they go outside, they make some slogans, they make some noise against their, against what they've been happened to them, been abused by the people. So it is a way of protest, it is a way of raising your voice for your rights. And it doesn't say that you can do some violence. Only allowing to raise your voice and say some words which can hurt the people who are abusing them. That's enough. That is only the allowance here in the verse of the Quran. That when you are being abused, Allah is giving you the right to speak out, to make noise, and to speak some words which can hurt the people who are abusing them. But it doesn't say that you can do the way of violence. Violence is never allowed. Rather than to raising the voice is allowed. But generally Allah said, La yuhibbullahu al-jahra min al-qawli. Allah doesn't like the people who are noisy and saying some evil words. Illa man zalim, except those who are being abused. And Prophet Muhammad said that don't abuse and don't get abused. Don't abuse people and don't also get abused. So that is also the things that another hadith of the Prophet Muhammad, the Prophet Muhammad said that the abuser and abused will go to hellfire. And it is wondering why the abused will go to hellfire. And the explanation is because the abused is not doing something to fight against the abuser. The abuser, abused, is not doing something to stop the abuser to abuse him or to her. So it is one of the great way that you can stop the abuser to abuse you is you raise your voice, to speak for justice, to speak for your rights. And you can do this, and Allah is with you and is giving you permission to do that, to raise your voice, except that Allah hates people who are raising their voice and noisy and saying some evil words. But people who are being abused, Allah is allowing them to raise their voice for their rights and for them not to get abused. May Allah guide us.